Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at recording with the Strymon Iridium. Let's get started. So I have a recording session coming up soon, and so I thought it'd be a good idea to share how I approach recording with the Iridium. Quick note, I use ProTools, but you can use any digital audio workstation and achieve the same results. Now with the Strymon Iridium, you have the option to use either mono or stereo as your outputs. I typically record using mono. But as with anything, there are exceptions to the rule. And so here are the 3 ways I record a guitar using the Strymon Iridium. Mono out left, mono out left right, and stereo with a stereo impulse response. Method 1, recording in mono. This method is the closest to the real thing. You're basically placing a good mic in front of your speaker cab and pressing record. To do this in ProTools, just create a mono track, select the input, check your levels, and off you go. Method 2, mono left and right. I use this method to get 2 identical mono takes that I can then pan and manipulate as needed. For example, I might have a dry signal on the left and add effects on the right. To do this in ProTools, just create 2 tracks, select the inputs, check your levels, and off you go. Sure, I could just duplicate the track in ProTools, but where's the fun in that? Method 3, stereo out using a stereo impulse response. This would be the least likely approach for me, but there are songs where I do want the guitar recorded in stereo. Typically, it's when a key part in a song would sound best as a stereo guitar. For example, if I'm using a stereo delay. To do this, you have 2 options. 1, do just like we did in method 2 and create 2 tracks, or create a stereo track. And there you go. Outside of the signal path, there are 2 other settings you might want to consider when recording with the Iridium. The first is the level knob. Now the level knob is useful to help you get your recorded signal to sit properly with the rest of the instruments in a mix. I usually start with the level knob around noon and then adjust after recording a quick take. The idea behind this is simple. Get the recording levels to sit right in the mix now so that later on in the recording process, there's less to mess with. The other setting you might want to consider is reverb. The reverb knob is an adds character sort of thing, and so I use it for a few reasons. First, if I'm recording a demo and I just want to add reverb, bam, I've got reverb. The second reason to record with reverb is when it fits the song. Sometimes it makes a lot of sense to print the reverb with the guitar. When using the reverb, I'll select the size and dial in the amount of reverb on the Iridium. The one caveat here is that you're committing to the reverb early on in the recording process. And there's nothing wrong with committing a sound early if that's what the recording and the song needs. Well, there you have it. I hope this helps. Recording with the Iridium is really a pretty straightforward process. The cool thing about the Iridium is that it bridges the key pieces of the recording chain that can typically be a pain to work with when recording a real amp. Namely, getting a good studio tone out of your amp, miking your amp, and then getting it recorded. All right, thanks for hanging out. I'm Rox. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Rox out.